All right, another thing I want to touch on, mineral. To me, this is just as crucial as any food plot you're going to put in. I don't care where you are. Mineral is probably the most important part of your whole deer growing, raising, attracting, whatever you want to call it, system. This mineral was formulated with the help of a couple biologists that I met through the deer farms, through helping them out. Actually, we took some of my farming knowledge and I threw some things at them that they never heard of before. And then they threw some things at me that I have never heard of before. And I start to understand a deer and a rumen. Now, I don't have a PhD in this stuff. I am not an animal doctor. But I was blessed to have a few deer farms that I used to work with, and I still work with, that really helped me to learn. And it was all about trial and error. So we learned about how to grow antlers. People don't understand that big bucks have to start out as little bucks, which have to start out as fawns. So my main thing to me was, I want to have does eating this like crazy. So it goes into their colostrum, which goes into their, their milk, which turns into colostrum, which goes into the fawns when they're born. And it's given them fawns a kickstart right from the very first drink that they're getting. Mineral to me is, in minerals and vitamins, we get our minerals and vitamins from what we eat. Deer do also. But we try to, with mineral, take the deer to the next level. And what I mean by that is, I always do this comparison of a bodybuilder. A bodybuilder is not going to get muscle mass by not eating protein and not eating supplements, whether it be different types of vitamins or different types of probiotics. They are not going to grow muscle mass. It's the same thing as a deer. Now, a lot of mineral companies, and I think all mineral helps. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying ours is the best on the market, but it's, from the results that we're getting, it's right there. It really is right there. We are getting on an average in a while, we're gaining 30 to 40 inches on a buck from a 3.5 to 4.5 out in the wild, which is pretty good. In a pen, we're gaining as much as 100 inches. So, I mean, is it working? I know it is. Are our customers happy? Yes, they are. That I know, because I am getting pictures and what they were shooting and sheds from year to year. So I know for a fact it's really working. The thing of the pride that I probably have the most in the mineral is, you're not buying junk. Many of your companies have over 30% salt in them. A lot of them as high as up to 80%. Salt is the cheapest content in this mineral. It is. But we use ground up trophy rock, basically, Redmond salt. So they're getting even some nutritional value out of that salt source. But my main thing is a couple things that are in here. The probiotics, to me, is the most crucial. And what that is doing is, whatever they ingest or whatever they eat, and they can break it down and utilize every part of that into their body to use. We put some sea kelp in here, which does lower their blood temperature. Lack of stress grows antlers. Their body temperature. Flies are stressful. Predators are stressful. These are all things that cause stress to deer. You want to give them a water source, a food source, a mineral source, and now you're helping your deer to be stress-free, and which is going to go to antlers. So to me, the main part of this whole equation is making sure you can give them enough so they can eat it as much as they need it. Now, since it's lower in salt, a lot of times they don't need to eat as much until level off. But getting back to the minerals and vitamins, the vitamins and the things that are in it that their body needs, it's no different than a human. And when I say that is, let's say sometime you're craving tuna fish, or you're craving coffee, or you're craving, I don't know, a tomato juice, or apple juice, or orange juice, or boy, I could eat a steak, or, you know, boy, I could eat pasta. I don't care what it is. When you're craving something, you're lacking something. Just remember that. Whatever you're craving, you're lacking. So my thought process is, if the deer can get everything they want to in a mineral, everything else that they eat, it enhances the relative food value of what they're eating. So deer are naturally browsers, where cattle are naturally grazers. Same rumen, whole different animal. So when we formulated this to put together, it all had to do with their 4-chamber stomach. What were they going to utilize out of it? When they took a dump, basically, you know, how much were they going to utilize out of what they ate versus what they're going to waste? We noticed that the deer weights went up on the farms that they were on this mineral. We noticed that the size of the deer went up that were on this mineral. And we also know that the antler size went way up that were on this mineral. And it was all free range. We did not force it into any of them. We did not put it in a pellet form. It was whenever they needed it, and the deer farmers, you know, could notice, you know, a big difference. So our main thing is, you know, it's a deer, it's a pen deer, but it's mass. You know, you want to grow mass. One thing about this mineral that I will tell anybody and everybody, and I just tell them right out front, it grows junk. And what I mean by junk, not in a bad way junk, I'm talking double brows. A lot of times you'll get fork twos, kickers, stickers, you know, drops, extra points, very common. But you can grab an antler that's been on a good dose of mineral, and you can pick it up and you can feel the weight there. There is bone there. So to me, this is just as crucial as any food plot you're going to ever use. I try to put it near a water site between a bedding area and a feeding area, if I can. I find a stump, I dump it on. You know, I get this asked all the time, how much do I put out? I put out 25 pounds at a crack. It doesn't go bad. I put it on a stump, so you'll get more mileage out of the mineral. It'll go into that stump and they'll eat that stump. It'll last longer. But, you know, it's free range. They're going to eat it and they need it. And deer need it bad, because we get our vitamins from all our choices. Deer don't have choices like we have. You know, it's no different than our plants. If we fertilize our plants properly, not only are they going to grow better, they're going to be healthier. Healthier plants provide more nutritional value than depleted plants. It's kind of like a beef cow. You know, you could take a beef cow, and I raise beef, so I know this. You can take a beef cow, and you can just feed it pure grass, and they'll put weight on, but not weight on like you'd feed them corn or, you know, something higher in sugar and carbs, silage, or soybeans, or whatever the case may be. The flavor is in the fat for a beef, and I think the size is in the health of the deer. So you want your deer to stay as healthy as you possibly can. Get them on a mineral regimen. Watch your salt content. But this stuff was formulated, and we are selling the bejesus out of it. We're over 46 ton this year already. And we don't really advertise it. It's just repeat customers. You know, we're shipping stuff all different states, all over the place. 29 states, I think we ship mineral to this year already. So it works very well. A lot of deer farmers, like I said, are using it. They like it. They're happy with it. So it's one thing that, just remember, deer do need it. Okay?